Good morning, Rabbi Sai. This is the very first, Rabbi Sai, the very, very first MDY nursing home edition. Zoom out, show the chevra what we have here. You have to be at least 60 years old and older. So because of the new regulations, and we go with the regulations, you can only have 10 people. So we said, you know what? We want to go with the elders, the ones who actually come first into the Beis Medrash in the morning. And most of you guys are here. I'm watching you guys. You guys come in early in the morning. Rabbi Shomer, I didn't see you down in another man. You down in Nate?
Usually, but they asked me to come. So right.
Yes.
We had three kohanim.
Three kohanim. Shmak. So we're still on the lockdown, and we have the windows open, and we have Ari Simon, and look at that, the outside chevra. It's like literally like Corona. It can't be Givaldic. Unbelievable. So yesterday, in middle of Shir, first time ever that in middle of Shir, I went into the mamad. Actually, we were in sort of not a real mamad, but like a safe location. The Hebrew Shir. I don't know if we have video of that, but there was a time when we all came and they kept on learning over there as well. I received a bunch of emails. Chizuk, wow, unbelievable. In the middle of a Shir, this crazy red alert, very loud. You don't have the option to make it quieter. It's just sitting in here on a very historic day. The nuclear threat from Iran is no longer the threat that it used to be. And if everybody, again, I don't know, you touch something or no? Just by itself? Sitting here on a very historic day. The nuclear threat from Iran is no longer the threat that it used to be. And if this is it, we're talking about this in Shir. I want to show you what it means. That was a boom. I don't know if the camera picked it up. It was a boom. Wow. The bombs are still going off. We hear the explosions in the air. It's unbelievable. I came to your Shir. That means over here. Yeah, Rabbi said, go. Keep safe. Rabbi said, keep safe. It's the first time ever I'm giving shir from in the bomb shelter. We're going to learn a little Torah from the Mamadi. Says the Gemara, Dover Acher. Let me know when we can go out. I'll let you know. Not yet, you say. Maybe you guys can take a picture of us. I think we could go out now, no? Somebody just wrote to me that Akash Baruch Hu took out his anger on Eitzim Va'avonim. The buildings fell, but no one got killed. Right. Oh, this is the during the Hebrew shir once, but we went into the stairwell. Got a lot of nice emails today, but I'm probably not going to be able to read all of them. From Michael Levy. Hi, Rabbi. I hope all is well. Your class has helped change my life. I hadn't touched the Gemara since high school, and now I just had my 6th siyum yesterday, Baruch Hashem. Unbelievable. 6th siyum. My 5-year-old daughter also loves watching your shiurim. Attaches a recap of the first day of Avodah Zarah the other day. Thought you'd enjoy. All the best, Michael. So basically, she's saying like, the Goyim, they built bridges and marketplaces. Very cute. Not this one. Thank you for making Kiddush Hashem and following the Anchayot of Pikudah Arev and setting an example for all of us. You know, there's people that write this way, there's people that write that way. David Hochhauser, he says, as hard as it is, as much as I would like to come in person, I know there are others who needed to be there more than I do. Don't miss out, MDY London Siyum taking place in Stamford Hill this Thursday. Rabbi in Stamford Hill, very first time, Stamford Hill, MDYSiyum.com. Flappish Siyum, Motzi Shabbos. Beautiful. Miami Siyum, look at this. And they even have the props in the background from, what is that, Nadarim? Whatever the props, those big. Yeah, it's a very nice amount of people. Miami has always been stark. Antwerp, Belgium. There's one guy, Yitzi what's his name? Eisenthal, something like that. You know, I'm very bad with names. But Yitzi, he's a powerhouse. He gets the oilam into it. He does. Also, very, very nice oilam over there. Mazel tov to Shlomi Klein on the engagement of his daughter. Shlomi Klein is famous in MDY. He traveled from Crown Heights all the way to Lakewood to be Menachem Oval, Rabbi Yisrael Gordon, when Yechiel, the young kid, the 8-year-old, was nifter. So he tells Yechiel, he tells Rabbi Yisrael, he says, "You don't know me. You don't." He says, "Of course I know you. I see you every day on Zoom." And they had a whole 2-hour conversation. He thought it was going to go in, Yotzei, a 4-minute Nichum Avel. It ended up being 2 hours. Lubavitcher guy with the Litvish guy from Lakewood. That was the epitome of MDY in the Achtos. Why is this here again? I don't know. This was a very moving email. I translated it to English from Hebrew, so I hope it's okay. I'm intending to share with you since Baba Basher Daf Beis, and thank Hashem I haven't missed a single day. With Hashem's help and your wonderful team support, I hope to continue to succeed. This past Pesach, I was meant to become a grandfather for the first time, but Hashem arranges everything, and a few months before the birth, the fetus, the daughter, experiences stillbirth. With Siyad Shmai about 2 weeks ago, she and her husband came to us excitedly and said that we'll have a surprise for the Yom Tovim, a first grandchild. Since then, we felt the joy and been davening. But this past Friday, Hashem called the baby's soul back to him. So within a half a year, my daughter lost a daughter and a son. Returned home from the hospital Friday afternoon. As soon as we got home, I saw comfort in the Daf Yomi and sat for about 2 hours before Shabbos, listening to you and the Chevron this year. On Daf Gimel Amud Beis, we learned that one thing Hashem does is learn with Tinoike Shabes Rabbim, and according to Rashi, as you explained, refers to young children who passed away. I don't know whether Rashi meant children and not fetuses. We also said that with Agadita we don't ask questions. And when I heard this, I could only imagine how on Friday as Shabbos came in, a new and very small chair was placed in the heavenly yeshiva right next to the other small chair. And the brother and sister rejoiced together in the radiance of the Shekhinah. I want to thank you for showing me and my family that Daf touches every moment of life and immediately brings light to the world. Thank you to you and your precious team with blessings, your student Shin. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, I cried last night. I cried when I read it the first time. The covered rebelli shlita. Thank you for enlightening so many thousand Yidden Heilige Torah. I have a suggestion that I think brought up in the past, an MDY fast track. Some of you, I'm just reading to get you guys excited. Being that many people have limited time to listen to shir, is it possible to have the option to listen to the shir only without the jokes and the songs? Yaman Sher, Lakewood, New Jersey, good friend of Reb Nachman Seltzer. This is going to be very, very difficult for a lot of you here in the room to stay awake and vibrant. You got to show the young guys what it means. Rabbi Sai, you got to show them what it is. That it's really you guys. Those guys are all, I'm counting on you. What an MDY guy does during an Iranian ballistic missile barrage, ABD, always been daffing. He's in his mamad, learning Torah. So Kitzer, this is Aaron Meislik. The following has been presented to me by my wife for finishing Masechet Shavuos. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and the whole team behind the scenes to make this possible. Looking forward to finishing all Shas. Aaron Meislik. Since what? Since Brachas and again Erevin. Here we go. Look at that. Unbelievable. And here they are, the Chevra, live right now, outside. I see Shamshi and Aryeh and Akiva and... Okay. Who? Where is he?
In the back. In the back.
Moshe Einhorn.
Back and the right.
I don't see him.
There he is.
He's standing up.
Okay. You see him? No.
Screen.
Oh, on the screen. I'm looking at this picture. I'm looking at the live picture. Oh. Look at what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that. And then you guys are looking at this. Okay, I got it. You're looking at the live. Shkoyach. One more. Hi, my name is Israel. I just turned 4 days. Recently, I really enjoyed listening to the amazing shir, giving such a geschmack. This is a Chassidish guy. While driving, a real geschmack to listen and watch. I want to share with you that I was able to finish Shas as I started 7.5 years ago with Avodah Zarah. I'm grateful to say that we never missed a daf on the day, not even once. In my chavrusa, no matter what, we can be at 2 a.m., 5 a.m., different days. We just had to commit to not to go to sleep before we learn. You hear this? He never missed a daf in 7.5 years, even if it was 2 and 5 in the morning. I was reading through some of my notes of the beginning of MDY, and I wrote there about my Rebbe, my Chavrusa, Rebbe Didier Kramer. And it says there, at a certain day, that I asked him to come to my house at 3:30 in the morning to learn. And I wrote there, like without asking questions, he came 3:30 and we learned. Sometimes you have to go all out. Doesn't matter, 2 a.m., 5 a.m. In difficult days, we just had to commit not to go to sleep before we learn. And before that, I never liked to learn, was not connected to Torah or Tefillah. I'm a chassid. In Cheder, I got low marks in tests. I got all the nasty makkis because I was a shvacha boy in learning skills. But now, Baruch Hashem, I love the daf. This makes you want to be a better yid in all other ways. This changed my life. I'm grateful I started again Shas. Thank you for your amazing shiurim. I managed to listen and make chazara, Baruch Hashem, and even added a new chavrus to learn every day, twice at least. Yisrael, D, Siyam Shas. Unbelievable. Mazel tov, Rabbi Yisrael. Mazel tov. Okay, fine. There's another nice one, but you know what? I'll just say real quickly. I'm not going to read the whole. It's a very long one here. If anybody wants to read, basically he's saying, put on your status. I've done today's daf. Don't try to get people all through the Masechta. Daf Yomi, done. So people that read your status, they go crazy. They say it's again and again and again, and they want. This, Baruch Hashem, it came out, and it's supposed to be a tremendous success. If you want to see this in Hebrew, people have said that this is even better than the English one. Came out yesterday, and it has 5,000 hits already. What a day in Hebrew. Kishmak. Masechta sponsored, anonymous. Hatzlacha Baruch Dovid ובגשמיות. Oh, we're not doing so bad. Okay, fine. Hatzlacha Baruch Dovid ובגשמיות, אחינו bnei Yisrael. Anonymous, may our learning be a shield of protection and source of unity and blessing of Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius. Eli Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. TCS Israel, powered by TALKNSAVE. Yoni Klestzick, Refuah Sheleimah, Miriam, Esther, Pärl, Prádel, Pesel. Max Wallach. In honor of the marriage of Michal Meir Yosef and Rus Yasmin on 23rd to begin a life filled with Torah and Kedusha. Anonymous, the coveted Binyomin Dessau, keep steiging. Daily sponsors, anonymous, in honor of the engagement of daughter of MDY super participant Shlomi Klein, Rachel Klein, Tazalmi Chadowitz, dedicated by someone who cannot use his name due to HIPAA reasons, but you know who I am. He's laughing outside. I hear. You're the Fletcher in honor of Rivka's birthday. Tzvi Wilner, Li Nishmas, my father, Yeshua ben Tzvi. Mordechai Sapoznick. Wow. Come on, Mordechai, we got to shorten it up a little bit, yeah? L'zech Nishmas, Bubby Teitz. Moras Aidel Gitel, Horav Boruch Dovid, She was an example of what MDY is. She loved every type of Jew. May her neshama have an aliyah. May she be a melazisha in time mishpacha. All of Kew Gardens, Queens, and all of Klal Yisroel. David Joseph, Lili Nishmat Moshe ben Yosef, 27th of Sivan, anonymous. Mazel tov to our dear son Yehuda Leib from the Shetel Head Group. Oh, the Shetel Head Group. For the Siyum, we are proud of you. Danny and Pinky Sanger, in honor of our 14-year-old son, Avi Sanger, learned Makkis and Shavuos with Rebelli, and now Avodah Zarah. Very proud of you. Yaakov Yagen, in honor of Rebelli, thank you for caring about every single Yid, besides all those that are not in the Beis now. I only care about you guys. That's what they think. Not true. Care about everybody. Don't worry. We're not serious. Don't worry. Lili Nishmas, Liba Bas Ruven Halevi, Miss Libby. Listen, Aryeh, I have an option. If I don't like what you're saying, I'll just close those windows. Miss Libby Lobel on her third yard site was personified by her Ayin Tov, Leiv Tov, and Simchas HaChaim, was beloved by all who knew her, by her nephew. Peretz Chaim Levin, Yishkoach Peretz Chaim Levin, Coil of the Day, HYK Ventures, in the schos of helping our MDY member find an American remote job in Israel. MDY Kids Monthly, Innovations, schos official, Elchanan Akiva, Rivki, Mrs. Stefansky, Art of the Month, for Sheleimah, for Yonatan, Eidim, Ben Beshav, Bracha, for schos, for Eli, and the whole MDY staff to continue to make tires and joy for so many, and honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Boy, say, amazing daf again. So here's the question. You guys were with me, a lot of you were with me for many years. So you should know this one. I used to ask this question to trip people up if they said they don't want to do Daf Yomi. So I'd say, okay, how many karbanas does one need to bring to the Beis HaMikdash? Let's say a kid goes with his father to the Beis HaMikdash for Pesach. They go, they make the trip all the way from Bet Shemesh to Yerushalayim. How many karbanas should they bring with them? How many animals do they have to bring with them? All of you guys could chime in there. What do you think? Obviously, they have to bring a carbon Pesach. That's one.
Chagiga.
Korban Riyah, he says.
Korban
1 minute. You don't count. Were you here last night?
Maybe.
Maybe. I know that you were here last night. Next. What else? Anybody?
Korban Tamid?
No. That you don't bring the carbon, that the Beis Hamikdash has to bring.
3 or 4.
Just for the first day? Shabbos is...
Well, how many animals do you have to bring with you? So this would trip everybody up, including those who were in the shir and heard this question many, many times. I'm going to remind you, you got to do chazara. And the reason I stopped asking this question, it's much easier to ask, what does tmura mean? Because I know the answer. This I always used to get mixed up with the answer. So here it is. There's actually 5 animals you have to bring. 5, because there's 2 chagigas. There's chagiga Yudalit and chagiga Tesvav. Shalmi Simcha, Oilas Riyam Pesach. So that's something just...
Be with the chabura on for the Korban Pesach. You don't have to bring it yourself.
Correct. You can be part of a chabura. Exactly. Good point. Another question is, who are the people that are considered like they are dead? You all could chip in this one. Besides you, of course.
Tzuras.
Blind.
Saras, blind,
Ani.
Rasha.
Ani.
Honey.
Ani Tzuras.
Oh, he screamed out from outside. Very good. What do you say?
Children.
Suma, he said. You heard that? I don't know if the microphone was able to pick him up. Suma. So, with the outside guys, helping the elderlies. Can we discuss this? I'm a little nervous. If the siren goes off, can you let me run ahead of you guys?
Get the way.
I've seen how you guys go down those stairs. Holding on to both bars. Come on! Let me go first. Come on.
Do it now.
Okay. They're enjoying themselves outside over there. Very good. So now I have a question. If somebody has some money, he wants to donate money, unbelievable thing. I'm not kidding. A guy texts me yesterday. He says, I got your phone number from your son. I want to give a donation to MDY. So I'm not going to call him up. You know, I'm in the middle of learning this, that. At 1:45 in the morning, I call him up. Guess how much he wants to give? You know, I was sure, $25. What could it be already?
$1,000.
$120,000. He doesn't even do the shear. He says, I love what you do. I love what you do. Yeah.
Whoa.
So if a guy has $120,000 and he wants to give it to, he wants to give either to the blind center or the fertility center, where should he give it to? It's a real question that came to Reb Chaim Kanievsky. He has money, I don't know, $1,000. What's more important? Who are they? Who's more considered in desperation? The blind or the fertility?
Fertility.
Why do you say blind? Why?
Because they're alive.
They're alive.
Blind are already dead.
But they're dead. The Chashav Kemeis.
Dead.
Fertility. You get more.
But you want to wake them up from their death. So very interesting, we'll get there. Reb Chaim Kanievsky says that when you have a list, what comes on the list first is higher up on the list. You find that by marar. That's why romaine lettuce is the number 1 marar, not the bitter stuff that the Europeans eat. Horseradish. The root. The romaine lettuce is considered la halacha the most. So in this list also, what comes first? The blind come before the fertility. Just throw it out there. So let's see the Gemara. We got some Agadita. I promise you 4 full days of Agadita. So here we go. We're holding by Va'omer Rabbi Yeshua. It's a bunch of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, sayings from Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, 5 lines from the bottom of Dalet Amud Beis. Va'omer Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Lo Yossi Yisrael Tzegel Elitim Pischa Pele Bali Tshuva. This idea that what happened with the Egel, that Klal Yisroel made this golden calf, which was one of the worst averas of Klal Yisroel. This is a nace from Hashem, which gives the ability for our generation to do tshuva, for all generations to do tshuva. These are big Yireh Shamayim people. As we saw Rashi yesterday, I'm just doing a little chazar. We learned this yesterday. Rashi explains that these are tremendous Gedalim that could completely control the Yetzer Hara. Just Hashem removed that protection from them and allowed them not to control the Yetzer Hara, so that they do tshuva, and then people in later generations don't say, listen, I spoke to a few people already who told me I cannot do tshuva. You don't know what I did. I said, I don't care what you did. No matter what you did and how many times you did it, you could do tshuva. This tshuva is open for every single Jew. Even the Chet HaEgel. And that's what we learn for all generations. David doesn't make sense that he should sin with Bathsheba.
What about Korach?
Yeah, what about him?
Jew?
Why not?
Too late.
He could do tshuva when he's alive.
It's too late.
Once he's dead, he's dead.
It's game over.
B'nai
Klal
Korach.
Yisroel ruin lo yisei ma'isa. And the people that were chaytu with the egel, they did not. It wasn't befitting them to do that. David says about himself, "My Yetzer hara is dead. V'libi my Yetzer hara cholal b'kirbi." He's a dead man. He has zero control over me. We had the story in the Gemara, Meir, Rebbe Akiva, I think it was Meir. I should have looked it up. But he also claimed, look, I don't understand these people. And then Hashem made it in a way that he started chasing a woman up a tree, a whole thing. In other words, as is, you're right, you have a certain protection. But once Hashem removes that, then you become vulnerable. They were big Yerushalayim. So why is it that Klal Yisroel sinned? That if an individual sinned, learn from David HaMelech. We all can relate to David HaMelech. He was the underdog. He was the laughing stock of his brothers. When the Navi came to anoint the king, they didn't even consider him. They brought all the other brothers. Gedalius here. Not this one. Yishai says, not this one. So who? Don't you have another kid? Nah, I don't have it. Oh, you mean that loser? Oh, I don't know if he said it like that. You know, that one over there, we shipped him away. He's just a shepherd. They couldn't believe it. They were shocked. Him. And then he goes and he sins. We could all relate to it. Sometimes in life you have a weak spot. You have your guard is down. So and if a whole congregation sins together, look, you know what? It's not in the world. You can do tshuva like the Chet HaEgel. Utzricha. Why do I need two cases? Why do I need the tzibur and the yachid? Yeshmini yachid, mishum delim mefarsim chete. I would say that an individual that sins, nobody knows about it. It's not a big chil Hashem that happened. The worst thing a person can do is a chil Hashem. That's the number one problem. I would say the mefarsim chete emeloi. But when a whole congregation gets together and does a chet like the Chet HaEgel, and it's just tremendous chil Hashem in the world, I think they can't do tshuva. So kamash malan they could do tshuva. V'yashmin tzibur. So just say tzibur. Big chiddush that even a tremendous tzibur. They did such a big Klal Hashem, they could do tshuva. So certainly individual. No. Mishum the nefishu rachamayu. There's so many people, Hashem, they have more schusim, more love, more achmanas. Aval yachid delei alimus chusei. Individual is on his own. Emeloi, maybe he cannot do tshuva tzricha. That's why I need both cases. Something more about the Rabbi Shmuel ben Achmeni Omer Rabbi Yoni Samai Dechsiv Nuum David ben Yishai Nuum Agever Hukam Ol. What does it mean Hukam Ol? Nuum David ben Yishai. David, the son of Yishai, Shehikim, Ula Shel Tshuva. He is the one that brought to light the beauty of tshuva, that anybody can do tshuva. The Gemara always says that whoever says David HaMelech sinned is making a mistake. The whole sugya of Bathsheba, we're not going to get into it, but he held that she wasn't the Eishasish at the time because her husband gave a get, a retroactive get. So halachically he was right, wasn't the right thing to do. If you say he sinned, yeah, dimmer cheshbainis, whatever. If you do one mitzvah in this world, as if it would work the water, not really. You do one mitzvah. The Sefer Hasidim says the meaning over here is when one person picks his mitzvah, he has his mitzvah. You guys have a mitzvah? Anybody here have a mitzvah? Yeah, what's your mitzvah? Tell us.
Come to davening on time.
Oh, come to davening on time. Givaldik. No matter what. No matter what. No exceptions. See, there's the people that the minyan is the number one thing. They'll go on a trip. They'll pay people in Disneyland to come in, and so they have a minyan. That's what we're talking about. A guy that's his thing. His thing.
Daf Yomi.
Daf Yomi. That's your thing. That's no matter what. Givaldik. I was getting it seriously. I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, what's my mitzvah? What's my thing? So like, oh, you're Meshuggah for Daf Yomi. You tell people the whole name Daf Yomi. Okay, it took me some time to chap. Anyway, some people are very Chavetz Chaim. What's his mitzvah? Shmir Saloshin, right? L'chayra. I mean, he was this tremendous masmid and the goyna. He's known for. So that's Chassidim. That's the mitzvah. We're not talking about one mitzvah. The mitzvah that you took upon yourself is going to go in front of you in Olam Haba and say, Rabbi said, look at this guy. He always came on time to davening. Always. It'll go, the tzidkus will go in front of you and Hashem will gather you. If you have one sin, so I wonder if that's the same thing over here, like that one avera. It should be, according to Sefer Chassidim. But anyway, it wraps him, it envelops him. So Yoshi did a beautiful thing here. To explain the picture real quickly, it starts moving in a second, but you are inside that cage. The person is inside the cage, the Aveira envelops him. And you have Gehenim on the right, you have Gan Eden on the left. And the Aveira takes you to the Yom Adin. Here, it's going to open up, the doors are going to open, and there's going to be a judgment. You decide, do you go to the right, do you go to the left? That's Milaf Fasai. Listen to this. This is, you have to imagine this and picture this. You come up to Olam Haba, you're doing good, everything is good, you're going to Gan Eden even, but you have like a dog attached to you. When it's talking about Znus by Yosef HaTzadik, he didn't listen to her, to Potifar, Teishes Potifar. Lishkav etzlo, li oisima. To lay by her. So what's the double lashon here? Lishkav and lihiyos. Lishkav etzla boilam hazeh. He didn't listen to her to be with her in this world. Lihiyos ima boilam haba. Says the Gemara, we have a tremendous yisoid here. If a person is over an aveira with a woman, that woman is stuck to him like a dog. Here's a picture. It's a good picture. She's tied to him. See, you have a tzaddik, you have a good guy. He's pretty, you know, he learned some good Torah, everything's that. But he has a dog attached to him. All the tzaddikim are welcoming him to Gan Eden, and they all see, I mean, a dog might be a mashal. It might be the actual woman stuck to his back. He's walking around the Gan Eden, wherever he goes. He has this goyish lady with him. And everybody knows what happened. It's a little embarrassing.
She deserved to get with it, to be there.
You know what? He just reminded me of Mordechai the Gevar. They kind of said it, but I heard it from a few different people. That Gan Eden and Gehenim is basically the same thing. It's a stender with a cup of water and a Gemara. If you know how to learn and you learned, it's Gan Eden. If you don't know how to learn, you never learned, it's Gehenim. Imagine you're taking a guy, and for 1,000,000 years you're saying, go out of his mind. He doesn't know what you're talking about. It's French. That could be Gehenim also. No, he's just asking, how did the Goya get Gan Eden? For her, it's Gehenim. Anyway, the Vilna Gaon says a Mordechai the Gevar here. It says in the pasuk that in those psukim, "Vatisfaseu bevigdoi leimar shichva imi." The word leimar doesn't belong here. It should say vatoimer. She said, Shichvayim. What's Leimar? Leimar means to tell somebody else to say back to you. So the Vilna Gaon says, all she wanted is Shichvayimi, that he should say, that Yosef HaTzadik should say those words. She was smart. She didn't say, I want action. All I want is you should say a couple words. Say the word Shichvayimi. Then she understood that once he says those words, that's the beginning of the end. Leimar Shichvayimi. Tell me those words. Omer Shlogish, I'm saying it because a lot of times, and I heard this from a few people, a lot of times it starts with one text. It doesn't start with action. Nobody jumps into a maisa. It starts with one line. One thing you shouldn't have said. One text message, one whatever. Omer Shlogish, boyu v'nachzik tov l'avosenu. Says Rish Lakish a tremendous chiddush. Basically what he's saying is, that after Matan Torah, no one was supposed to die. That's it. For the rest of the generations, nobody dies. And if nobody dies, that means that nobody brings children to this world. There's no point of bringing children if you're not dying. You're alive, you live forever in Am Yisrael. Just because they did Chet HaEgel, then they started dying. So we have to appreciate them for sinning, because we wouldn't be in this world. We wouldn't be able to accomplish had they not sinned. We have to have a karas hatov to our forefathers for sinning. If they wouldn't have sinned, we wouldn't be in this world. I said, you're all like malachim. You're children of the heavens. You don't belong here, bichlal. However, you ruined your ways. In fact, that's why you're gonna die. As Taisus, a question that many of you are probably thinking to yourselves, because we learned the famous Gemara in Eruvin, Ninniv Gamru, everybody agrees, it's better not to be created. So what are you telling me? That we owe our karas hatov to these people? That's why we were created. But it's better not to be created. Fakert. If they wouldn't have sinned and they would have lived forever and we wouldn't have been born, it's great. We don't want to be born. So he says, no, it's not true. You're right. A baby doesn't want to be born. But once a person does the right thing in his life, if he goes through life and doing the right thing, then we do want to be born. We want to accomplish. So now the Gemara is going to attack this Rish Lakish. And in fact, at the end we're going to have to break him. What? Nobody's going to die. I'll prove to you 5 different ways that people were supposed to die. How? What are you telling me, that people weren't going to die? If they didn't sin, nobody will give birth. It says in the Torah you should have children. No, that's not a great question. I would say that means at Sinai. Until Matan Torah. But after Matan Torah, no children. We've seen in Go back to your wives, it says over there. And that's after Sinai. There was a issue to be with your wife for 3 days, and then it says go back. In other words, continue with Pruruvu. No, maybe it means stop. Have relations with your wife, but not for any purpose. Which some want to bring a raya from here. I don't even know why you need a raya, because older people who can't have children also have a mitzvah sayna, but they want to prove from me, you're allowed to be with your wife, no matter what. Okay, fine. Boksiv, by the way, someone had a question. If everybody's neshama flew out by Matan Torah, it says parchan nishmasim, they died for a momentary, like for a moment. So then they're not really married. They died, and then so that's why the Torah says shuva aleichem. You're not divorced. You're not, because one of the ways a woman acquires herself back is by misas habal. So there's a misas habal for 10 seconds, and now they have to get remarried. No, shuva lochem lo aleichem. That's one shot. 5. It says in the psukim, it says in the pasuk, it should be good for you and your children after Matan Torah. This is a pasuk right after Matan Torah. So you see that they had children. Okay, for that I could be doichak. There was fathers and children at Har Sinai. So the children of Har Sinai, not no more future children after that time. This is Rish Lakish himself. We're asking a question on Rish Lakish from Rish Lakish. This is this book of Adam Rishon. Did he have a book? Baruch Hu showed him all the generations, the future generations, all the darshanim, all the chachamim, all the parnasim. Parnasim is the people in charge of the dar, the people, the machers, whatever they're called. He came to the generation of Rebbe Akiva. He couldn't believe how much Torah Rebbe Akiva is going to bring to this world. We know the greatest Tana, Rebbe Akiva. But he was very, very disappointed. He's very sad at the way he died at 120, such an old man. Barzel, hot combs on his flesh. Omar, and Adam Rishon said, V'li mayakru ri'echa keil. I cannot get into your mind. I don't understand your ways. It makes no sense to me. I know you know what you're doing, I just don't get it. V'amar Rabbi Yosi, okay, so Tachlis, you see that other Mauritian had a book, and in the book, not a book, but Hashem showed him Rebbe Kiva, all the generations. So people did have children. This is Rish Lakish saying this. So what do you tell me they didn't have children after Rebbe Kiva lived after Matan Torah, right? So it's proof from Rish Lakish on Rish Lakish that people had children afterwards. And we knew this from the time of Adam Rishon. Adam Rishon, Hashem said, you're always going to have children. Here, look at all the generations. Obviously, we're alive now, and they had children. That's not. But the question is, before the sin, you're saying it's only because of the sin, that's why we're alive today. But Adam Rishon was before the sin of the Egel, and there was going to be future generations at his time. Another problem. There's a thing called, there's a compartment, a place called guf, not our body. And there's all neshamas. Mashiach won't come until Hashem uses up all the neshamas, puts them into bodies. Taisa says the neshamas of the goyim come from a different place. It's not the guf that we're talking about. So they can't help us out in that department. It's not because I'm mad, and it's you have to get rid of these neshamas, have to go down to the world. So it says so finally, after all these questions on Rish Lakish, we're going to explain what Rish Lakish meant. Don't say the pshat is that we would never be born. We would be born no matter what. But it's as if we weren't born. What does that mean? It means, by the way, this is a Mordechai shir. This is geschmack. I really appreciate it. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me to enjoy you guys. It's great. It's special. It's a very special. Hello, you have a picture, a good picture of this? It's not a joke. This is Ziknei Hashir. This is a chosh of a thing. For me, I'm actually emotional about it. Not a joke. Chosh of people. So says, you know what's missing here? That guy that sits over there, 2 seats down. What's his name? He sits across from you, Reb Nachum.
He's in hospital.
What happened to him?
2 operations. His eye and his eye and his sinuses behind his eye.
How come nobody tells me these things? I don't deserve to know these things.
See him yesterday.
You did? So send him my regards. Wow. It's good I asked about him. Tell him I asked about him. I didn't even know that he's sick.
He was supposed to go in for a day and a half, and he kept finding things. Right.
Oive!
Been there for 8-9 days.
Wow. He's supposed to be in and out. It reminds me of what's his name? Another person, Michael. Where's Michael?
He was supposed to be here. He was here for that.
But what happened to him?
He was here for shock. He was here for the Yoni.
He's the worst. He left. He has like super duper chumras. He also went in for a knee and also turned into this. Remember that? Heart transplant. That's what it was. Yeah. That's in the heart. He had a heart thing from his knee. He found it from his knee. All right. So Akoponim. You hear what's going on here? Imagine this. Imagine if that generation lived in our generation. It would be so intimidating. These are Gedalius Olam, people that saw Matan Torah with tremendous amount of Yerushalayim. We're nothing compared to them. We're a generation of TV, of smartphones, and this and that. You're talking about people that saw HaKadosh Baruch Hu with their own eyes. And I don't know how tall they were even. You know, there must have been these giants living in Harnof, a whole community, hundreds of thousands of them. And we're like ants compared to them. So says Rish Lakish, if they were still alive, if they didn't die, we would feel like nothings. Which I have to say, the famous word of the Chavetz Chaim over here. Chavetz Chaim says, a baker comes to him and says, Parnas is terrible. Nobody's buying my stuff. They look at a nice donut, it's too expensive. They look at the bread, they put it down, they want another one. And then he meets him a few months later. He says, "No, how's Parnas?" He says, "Now there's a war. When there's a war, people come in, they grab everything off the shelves." My wife was telling me there's limits on how much stuff you could order. She's ordering, no, only 2 per customer, because people have this thing. They're starting to hoard stuff. So not in all food, but certain items. So he says, everybody's shopping. Says the Chavetz Chaim, we're in a generation of war. We're not in that generation where the tzaddikim and everybody's at this and that, and Hashem is picky. He says, this guy, he spaced out during Vila Malshinim, so I'm tossing a Shemona Esrei. This guy, this. No, we're in a generation, a very, very weak generation. So whatever we give Hashem, he grabs. It's like in the war. You spaced out during Shemona Esrei. Gewaldig. I love that tefillah. Here. You don't understand what's flying in the daf. You slept half the daf. Great. I love it. It's great. Just give me something. I need something. It's a war. It's a war. Anything. Give me. Oh. And then the famous Reb Zusha, I got to tell you, Reb Zusha, he says, he davened for that he should have Yer Shamayim like the Rambam. And suddenly started feeling such fear that he was under the table. He was like hiding under the table. Because the Rambam was on such a high level, he could have the fear of the Rambam. I'm a much lower level. I can't have fear of a Rambam. It's a different kind, we're a different generation. We can't absorb that kind of fear. So what are you telling me? That if they didn't sin, they wouldn't have died. This is the whole famous parsha of a Yavama. So for all the new people, because they're saying we have over 5,000 new people for Yavama, for Avodah Zarah. I hope they're still with us. Daf Yavama says you have two brothers, and one of them dies without. Firstly, he gets married. Two brothers. One of them gets married, and he dies without any children. These are two people we have to daven for Avi, the one on the right who just married the Yavama. He's stuck in America. We want to make sure that he comes back here safe. Half the day he spends on the phone with travel agents, Dr. Epstein's son-in-law, and he told me I'm on the way. Did he make it on a flight?
Not to my awareness.
Yeah. They opened it up.
12 hours ago, he's in the airport looking for a flight. Anyway, so that's Yibum. But that only applies if people die. How did this dude die over here? How did this guy die? There's no death. So why would there be a parasha of Yavamas? Also, why is there a parasha of Parashas Nachlas? Why would there be a whole parasha how to give over inheritance to your children? It says Gemara Al Tanai. It was in the Torah in case Klal Yisroel would sin and people would start dying again. But there's also a possibility they wouldn't die. As the Gemara makes Sivi Kroy Al Tanai, what the Torah gives us psukim on a condition. Yes. We had this Gemara. It should have said Yom Shlishi, Yom Shishi. What's Hashishi with a hey? There was a certain condition he made with the creation of Bereshis. If Israel accepts the Torah, great. If not, I'm going to return you back to where you came from. So, you see that there's a condition. If they accept it, great. If not, not. Condition. So the Torah says, I'm going to give you great goodness here. I'll make it good for you and your children. We had this pasuk before. So the Gemara explains, to say that they won't die, I can't do that. Okay, so let's pause right over here. It says they're not going to die. How are you telling me they're going to die? Here, the Gemara says Mefurish. To say that they're not going to die, you can't, because they started dying, that's it. There's already Malach HaMavos, forget about it. So that itself is a Bam Kasha. The Yitav means that the nations, the Iranians, they won't be able to control us. The other nations of the world won't control us. That's good enough. It's a question. You see that you do die. Not that you don't die. Says no, but there's a Tana that says you don't die. The sign Reb Yossi, it's Reb Yossi who says, there is a Tana that says people won't die. That the word Yitav means they won't die. But because you did wrong and you did the Egel, you are going to die. Akopanim, you see, Rish Lakish could hold like Reb Yossi, that you're not supposed to die. Reb Yossi Nami, it seems from the pasuk Toivu Dahavi. There'll be something good. Hamisa Ika. Death there will be. I'll give you something good. No. The good that the Torah is referring to is that you're not going to die. That is good. That's the best thing that could possibly happen. Given the Lekem Isa, don't tell me that Tova means, no, you're going to die, but you're going to have something good. No, the good is that you're not going to die. So we have a machlokes whether or not people were supposed to die after Matan Torah or not, and they ruined it by sinning with the Egel. But what are you going to do? With the pasuk, it's mashma that now you're going to die, but beforehand you aren't supposed to die. No. My misa anios, death. You are supposed to die. What kind of death? Being poor. The four people are considered dead. Elohein, Ani, a poor person, suma, blind man, umetzoira, who has tsaras, like something like this. He has like a white something on his skin. Umisha ein lo banim, and somebody doesn't have children, is considered like he's dead. Ani d'chsev. So it's interesting. The famous Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, he says, what's the tzad hashava between all these four things? What's the common denominator of these four things? All four of these people don't have the ability really to give to others. A woman who doesn't have children doesn't have that ability that a regular woman has to give to her children. A blind person also, he's missing that. Mitzayra, people, they distance. To be alive means to give. That's what being alive means. The more you give, the more alive you are. The less, you're considered dead. That's what you see from here. Life, Chaim, is giving. Doik v'tishkach. Think about it, you'll see. Oni d'chsiv kimesu kol ha'anoshim. It says by Dasan v'Aviron that they saw Moshe Rabbeinu killed the Mitzri, and Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, they all died.
This is Parsha.
Oh, where in this week's parsha?
Korach.
Where?
Dasan v'Aviron.
Oh, pasuk number 1 in our parsha. Vayikach Korach v'Yitzchak ben Kozman Levi v'Dasan v'Aviron. So what do you see, Reb Nachum? What do you see? It says Kimeisu. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu they died, and in Parshas Korach they're alive. It's a little bit of a problem. Oh, you have to say that no money and the chashuv kimeis. Money no mimeisu. They became poor. In the darkness, somebody who's in the darkness, you're like a dead man. With the Rebbe, there was a guy, a blind person. It's a true story. He saved the Sefer Torah for the Rebbe. I don't remember which Rebbe, but I looked it up. I couldn't find the story now. But a famous Maisa. You'll tell me who it is. So the Rebbe said, because you saved my Sefer Torah and you're blind, ask me, whatever, during Shal Shudas, during this Tish, ask me for something. I want to give you a bracha. So everybody's listening. What could he? What is he going to ask for? He's blind. He's poor. He doesn't have children. What is he going to ask for? Children, blind. He says, I want to be zoicha to see my children eating with golden spoons. It's like that. He got everything in there together. He's going to have children. He's going to see them. They're going to have golden spoons. Cool. Okay. So the Gemara, Metzayra d'chsiv, ano si kemes. Don't be like a dead man. About Miriam. Ano si kemes. Don't let her be like a dead person. And somebody that doesn't have children is considered dead. D'chsiv by Rachel, she tells Yaakov Avinu, Havali banim, give me children. I'm considered dead. So Mela, you see, that's why Reb Chaim brings from over here that a blind person is before the woman with children. So therefore, giving to that is better. If you go with my rules, Hashem is pleading, please, to keep my rules. If only they would listen to me. I will destroy all their mamish Yoni how do you say machnia? I would suppress subdue the enemy. Had you listened to all my you'd have children like the dirt in the ground. So Hashem says, who would want that? Who needs help over here? You should listen to all my stuff and then have fear. And they should have jumped on it. They should have said, we want your help. But they didn't ask Hashem for help. So it says Moshe Rabbeinu, a very strong lashon. How do you say kfu in English? Ungrateful, the sons of ungrateful. In other words, you have bad genes. Even your forefathers have bad genes of not being grateful. You give us to us. You give us the ability to withstand and be a Yerushalayim and keep all the Torah. How do we know that they're ungrateful? So Rashi brings over here that the man was so light, it didn't have calories. It went right into the body, all the nutrients necessary, but it was a lighter kind of food. And they didn't like it that was light. But what was so special about being light? If all the nutrients go directly into the bloodstream, whatever, then you don't have to relieve yourself. What's the problem with the relieving yourself? There's no toilets. In order to go to the bathroom, you have to walk a few miles out of the machna, out of the camp, says Rashi. It was a tremendous grateful, it was a great thing. To go to the bathroom. Okay. They couldn't, Hashem did them such a favor, gave them special food, you don't have to go to the bathroom. And they're saying, oh, this is a problem. I'm just thinking to myself, it's like astronauts probably have that kind of food, you know? Like that little, I don't know, a certain bar they eat, they barely go to the bathroom, it's just exact in Shalom Yisrael. And how do I know these are the sons of somebody that's not grateful? That's referring to Adam Rishon. Started with him, your forefather. This woman you gave me. So Rabbi Isai, this is a machshava that I had, and it's really for me, more for you. So I'm going to speak to myself. I'm doing chazara. I did this chazara yesterday. I'm doing chazara to myself again. If somebody gives you a beautiful Rolls Royce car, there, give you. Would you turn to him and say, "Yeah, but I prefer blue. I prefer the blue. You know, it's not so nice. You gave me a nice car. It's black. You like blue, okay? Well, what would that be called? Imam Shekafi Taiva. I think a lot of people, not me, Chaz V'Shalom, but a lot of other people, we all want to get married when we're young. What? Sponsors. Oh, sponsors. Yeah. But hold on, this is more important. I see you getting nervous about what I'm about to say over here. You're getting a little nervous. We're younger. We want to get married. We're nervous. Who we're going to find is going to be good. This. I know people that are not married. They're older. They're looking still for shidduchim. We had a guy here last night. He was 35 when he got married. This guy came back the day after the Shara Brachas. So you get the shidduch, and when you find this woman, you think she's the number one thing in the world. There's nothing better that ever happened. But maybe what happens is, right after you say, but Hashem, if she only had this one good thing, that would be mamish. Then she'd be perfect. And if she didn't have this one minus, so isn't that mamish like Hashem gave you a Rolls Royce, and now you're complaining about, you don't like the fact that the radio has this and that, it should have been over here, not over there. That's the way to look at it. So I'm saying, no, Musaf to myself. Hashem gave us a gift. We're married. We have children. A lot of us, most of us. There's people that watch the shir that are not married. Those of us that are married, I think it's human nature to always find what could be better. And why did this chesaron? Like we don't have the chesaronis either. Like we're perfect and she doesn't think about that. Fine, it's a different story. But that's a kfuya toiva, a kafi toiva. Hashem gave you this, and all you could do is look for the chesaron. Sponsors. Oh, that's why he's so nervous about his sponsors. And now I have. We could count on him to remind us of the sponsors. Adar Global, making answering questions great again. Right there. So say innovations I'll see in honor of our sons Am Yisrael for learning and Avodah Zarah with the rebellion. I guess every Masechet is just going to get longer and longer and longer. Eventually, it's going to be 6 lines. Anonymous and out of all the holy tzaddikim that work so hard to bring us the daf every day with no credit given. Enough said. Says the Gemara. It took 40 years for Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Klal Yisroel that they're kfuya toiva, they're ungrateful. Shenemar. It took 40 years to go through the midbar. And then he said, Hashem didn't give you the heart to understand. Rabbi Isai, especially you guys, I give you a bracha that in 40 years from now you should understand what I'm saying. It takes 40 years to remember, to chap what I'm saying, and Mamela, you should all be zoich to live at least another 40 years. Very interesting pasuk. So Gemara explains these words. Ashreim Yisrael. When Klal Yisroel learns the Daf Yomi, they learn Torah, and they do Chesed. Yitzram Masur B'Yadam, they have control over the Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara doesn't have control over them. Vein Zriya l'tzedakah. Zriya means to give tzedakah to do chesed. Shenemar ziru lochem l'tzedakah v'kitzru l'fi chesed. Vein mayim el Torah. And mayim, water, refers to Torah. Shenemar hoy kol tzomei l'chula mayim. Thirsty should go to the water. What a beautiful picture Yoshi did yesterday with the fish tank. Mishalche regel hashavach hamar, which is referring to the Sahara. Tonavel yo loylam yosem adam atzmoy al divri Torah kishar lal v'kechamor lamasui. That when you learn Torah, you gotta really get into it. You gotta be like a bull plowing and a donkey that carries. Says the Chofetz Chaim, the bull sees the field, so you're learning the first time the Daf Yomi. That's like a bull. Chamor lamasui is like you're doing chazara on the Daf Yomi, because he carries the stuff and he brings it around. So either to teach the Torah, to learn it again. Rabbi said, here goes even better agadata. 3 days before their holiday, you're not allowed to do business with the idol worshiper. As the Gemara may be in Kolahai, why do you need 3 days? There is a mitzvah in the Torah. We're learning a lot of new stuff. Some people don't even know about this mitzvah. You guys all know this, but there's a lot of new people. There's a Isser Deiraisa to shech the mother and her calf in 1 day. So typically speaking, you don't have to notify people. There's no. I looked it up in the Shulchan Aruch today because Benny's sitting up there in the booth. He was all concerned. He sells a lot of meat. Does he have to sit there with the sign? Hey, this is the mother. Don't worry, the mother we shechted yesterday. No, it's not a problem. We're not concerned that it's going to happen on the same day. You don't have to worry about it. But when there's so many shchitas going on, only 4 days a year, then you have to notify people. I sold to Ruvain, the mother. So I need you to make sure you don't check the daughter today. Bita macharti l'shchoit. I sold the daughter, so don't check the mother today. What are the 4 days? The last day of Sukkot, where you have to bring in all the korbanos. Everybody waits till the last minute, so all the korbanos they didn't shech, the Elasriya, whatever they have going, they bring in the last day. So the last shechita going on. Erev Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, of course, Erev Pesach with all the all the korbanos Pesach and everything else. Very vatzeres. I saw the Rabbi Kiva asks here, but the korban Pesach is a zachar, talking about an keva. Okay, very vatzeres. And Erev Shavuos, where you have to bring Shalmi Chagiga and Oilas Riyah Rabboisai. This is very important because Mashiach is coming any minute. So just remember, you got to save up some money for those sheep. You need a Shalmi Chagiga, you need a Oilas Riyah when you go to it's not cheap, okay? Every boy, Oilas Riyah, b'chul. Ve'erev Rosh Hashanah, you need some meat for Rosh Hashanah. So everybody's shechting, so you have to notify, hey, I sold the mother. We know there's a lot of meat, there's a lot of food going on the 9th day. On the Erev Yom Kippur, it's the mitzvah to eat. You see, all you need is 1 day. 1 day. You're not busy shechting 3 days before. You're shechting only 1 day before. So why would the guy come and try to shecht for his Avodah Zarah 3 days before? If he's buying stuff, if he's doing business with you, it's 1 day before, not 3 days. Says when it comes to a Jew, he's eating the meat. All you need is 1 day. Hacha by a guy, the lakrava, he wants to sacrifice for his Avodah Zarah. You need more. You need 3 days. Why? Takes some time to find the proper animal for his Avodah Zarah. So you got to be careful. Don't do any business with him 3 days before. Why? He's going to go and say thanks to his idol. What? 3 days is enough. Oh, so Taisus says over here, we know that you're supposed to, what do you call it? You're supposed to have a drasha 30 days before Pesach. Says Taisus a big side here. You should know that the reason why there's really 30 days, we all know from Cheder that the 30 days before Pesach, meaning on Purim, you started already talking about Pesach. The hilchos, we thought it's about the halachas, the little things, No. It's for the korbanos, to start checking the korbanos and all the halachas that have to do with korbanos. So you see, you need more than 3 days. It's not enough 3 days to find the korban. It's either 30 days or 14 days, but it's more than 3. Says the Gemara, "Nadish chichimun de pasli, afilu betukum shvei." Oh, like what's his name again? The guy that had surgery? Mordechai. He went in for cataract or something similar? Not mamish, whatever, something on his eye. So cataract makes the behemoth puzzle. So it's so hard to find the good geshmaka carbon, so we give 30 days to find it. Being it lost in Yom, you need 30. But by them, they don't have cataracts. But if they have chopped off leg, that's no good for them. So, but let's say Yom Yisak, so 3 days is enough for them. Domer Rebbe Lazar. Fine, you know what? Let's stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDAF.com.